Hey you guys, welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be telling you 2 ways to look smarter than you really are on rotations. So tip number 1 is to use medical apps to your advantage. Before you start rotations, I would highly recommend purchasing and downloading Hippocrates or UpToDate. I will put those 2 links in the description box for you. And if you also are part of a professional society like ACOG or AAFP for family practitioners, I would recommend either purchasing or applying for a student membership in one of those organizations. And a lot of those organizations have their own apps that you can download that will give you access to their practice bulletins, which essentially are the evidence-based guidelines for that specialty. So the key is that when you're seeing a patient, note down the most significant pre-existing health conditions that they have or your top differentials for the patient. And after you are done every patient visit, when you have time, because you will not always have time to do this, but you will definitely have time in some cases, quickly open up your app and search either hypertension or COPD or gestational diabetes management or prenatal testing guidelines. And quickly scan the most salient points and look at the information on your phone as if you are an attending that is about to quiz a student. Look at it like, what is my attending most likely to ask me out of all of this material? Then, when you present your case to your attending, if he or she decides to pimp you on any of the material related to that case, you will likely have a much better chance of actually getting the question right because you just read it. It's also a great way to quiz yourself and study on rotations because you are constantly looking up new information and your attending who is asking you questions is essentially giving you a free quiz. So, tip number 2 is to ask questions that you already know the answers to. Alright, this one you have to use with discretion because no one likes an arrogant show-off, and the idea is not to show off how smart you are all the time. But the idea is to show that while you are still learning and you don't know everything, that you do know some things. So it's all about phrasing. For example, instead of asking, when do we swab for GBS? You can say, we swab for GBS at 35 to 37 weeks, right? Or instead of asking, what is a BPP? You can instead say, I know that a BPP looks at breathing, movement, and tone. What are the other components? And instead of saying, why do we give RhoGAM? You can say, if a mother who needs RhoGAM gets it at 28 to 32 weeks, why does she also require it after delivery? See what I did there? So like I said, it's all about phrasing and it's all about showing that while you're still learning and interested in learning, you do have the answers to some questions, you just need them to help you fill in the gaps. This one is especially helpful if you get really nervous when you are being pimped and you don't do well under pressure, when you're being asked questions about material in front of a crowd. So those are my 2 tips for today. I hope you find them very useful on the floors, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.